Hi, my name is Greg. I'm an atheist. I post as GKLR here on YouTube, and I'm here to make a reply to end page 85 with respect to a claim he made about proving God exists and that evolution doesn't. In page 85, I liked your video for the argument form you gave. It's more of an explanation than an argument, but didn't like your definition of thought. I saw your claim that, well, you can use what I'm defining it as in replace of the word thought, and the argument still holds true, so that's fine. I'm not a materialist. I don't think materialism has any sense to it. So we'll go as to why. And the way we show an end to materialism is through Leibniz's law, as well as through an example of Wittgenstein, who also named tautologies, oddly enough. So, sorry, I'm watching my 1-year-old here while I make this, just to make sure he's okay. Essentially, to show that there's no materialism is done through Leibniz's law. A equals B if and only if all that is true for A is also true for B. This shows that, well, I mean, it can't be true for any physical object, because any physical object would have a different location than another physical object. Don't bang it. Don't bang. Don't hammer it. I'm trying to get this done. Yes, I know. Oh, yes, that's round and hard. It looks like a hammer. It could be mistaken for a hammer. My apologies here. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yes, Ryan's there now. You say hi. 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 You say hi. Okay, you can't say hi. Leibniz's law, A equals B if and only if all that's true for A is also true for B, is the end of materialism, because it can't be true for any physical object, because they would be in a different location at the same time. They'd be in a different location, so it'd be something true for A that isn't true for B. And it's only possible for objects like numbers or words, where 1 equals 1 or 1 plus 1 equals 2. When we talk about a tautology, we're talking about covering all logical possibilities. All logical possibilities are covered. So, in the case of the examples you gave, it was, what was it? Man was created. Yes. Man was created by a physical being or a non-physical being. You're saying that this was a tautology, or otherwise rephrased as man was created by a physical being or non-physical being. Oh, I'm sorry, man was created by a physical being, or man was created by a non-physical being. That would have been the way you might have rephrased it as well. This isn't a tautology. A tautology has to cover all logical options. So it would be tautologist then to say, and in quotes, man was created by a physical being or a non-physical being, or man was not created by a physical being or non-physical being, unquote. So it'd be man was created by a physical being or non-physical being, or man was not created by a physical being or non-physical being. That would be a tautology, and the form that you're looking for is P or not P. And there's millions of forms of tautologies. It's not just the only form of tautologist statement, which really comes from the basic example that's always given, as it's raining out or it's not raining out. As well as you indicated that your phone is on or your phone is off as a tautology, which it isn't. It would have to be properly presented as P or not P, so your phone is on or not on. Likewise, your phone is off or not off. Now, how could it be not on and not be off, or how could it be not off and not be on? Well, it would be if it didn't exist, for example, and that was the presumption that you were making. And the first one, it was creation. You're assuming creation in both statements. In this one, you're assuming that the cell phone exists. For example, you said a tautology is always true. Well, that's not true either. Tautology is only true while language exists and while mind, language, logic exists. If not, it can't be true. It's logically true. But true only by way of analysis. It's true only in the mind. It's true, as all truths are, as a concept. It's not a perception of the world. Perceptions of the world are done through empirical truths. This is the way we get science and materialist ideas, is through empirical truths. But tautologist truths talk about abstract objects. So, abstract concepts, God exists or God doesn't exist, is a tautology. It's one or the other. and the statement includes both, and the statement needs to cover all those logical possibilities. So in the case of the cell phone, it was not on and not off in the year 1900. It would be not on and not off if I threw it in the sun and melted it and it no longer existed. If we had a statement about an object that is a truth, then we have proven that object exists. That's how we prove an object exists. And what you didn't do in your video is provide one truth statement for God, so you didn't prove God exists. The only way to prove anything exists is with a truth statement about it. So if we have an empirical truth, we prove an object is a physical thing. And if we have a tautologist truth, we're talking about an abstract concept. The only objects been shown to exist that aren't physical things are conceptions of mind. It's ideas, thoughts. So, in the case of God, you were saying God was a non-physical thing, or being. A non-physical thing. The only non-physical things ever been shown to exist or are shown through tautologies, and they are concepts of mind. To say that God is a non-physical thing would be to say that God is only a concept of mind, which I'd have to agree on. As well as religion requires absolute truth, and when you suggest that there's a such thing as a tautologist truth, then you're suggesting that tautologies are derived through logic, derived through some kind of system of understanding. You like that? Look at that. We got a... Alright. But for an empirical truth would show a physical object exists, a tautologist truth would show an abstract object exists. And when we have a tautologist truth, then we have a concept, we have an idea. And that's the only objects that are being shown. This is what metaphysics is. Metaphysics talks about abstract concepts. Okay, so metaphysics is right. I mean, thoughts, mind, these are not physical things. These are abstract concepts themselves. The brain isn't. The brain is resolved through an empirical. Any statement about the brain is an empirical, or an attempt at an empirical statement anyway. Any truth about the brain would be an empirical truth, and any truth about the mind would be a tautologist truth. Tautologies are essentially what we define them to be. We define all the terms first, and then the truth is logically necessary only by way of definition. This is how we think, or what we think of when we consider truth. Okay. Further to that, there was no undoing of evolution. I don't care about evolution. Evolution is believed by 3 times more theists than it is non-theists or atheists. So they say God did it, and that's the way they get around it all. Once you allow for magic, you can pretty much say anything you like anyway. Evolution is... Is that what I sound like? Just droning like that? Okay, I think that's my cue that I'm droning. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this. A tautologist statement, yeah, your phone is not on or not off at the same time when it doesn't exist. It is both not on and not off at that time. If we could say that your phone was on, we'd have to prove that's true. If we could do that, your phone must exist. It would prove the existence of your phone if you could state one truth about it. If your phone was off, it would be something we'd have to prove true. Impossible if the phone didn't exist. Only possible if the phone did exist. And absolute truth is what religion requires. Tautologist truth and empirical truths are both systemic, converse to absolute. So when you appeal to tautologist truths and you appeal to empirical truths, you're appealing to science and logic, which both say that truth is not absolute. So I find it hypocritical for a theist to come out and try to claim tautologies that they clearly don't know about, and also claim that they've shown that God exists without stating one truth about God. Well, that's how anything is proven to exist. Existence only applies to those things we can state truths about. Okay? So, in any case, cheers.
Bye-bye.